Another good series. I'm sure King Speech. He's down in the chat right now. I'm sure he's feeling not the greatest right now. A very physical, very physical series so far. The Detroit
Mhm.
Pistons and the New York Knicks. They're currently tied 1-1. The Knicks showed their veteranship in the first game. Second game, Detroit took it to them, and it just seemed like the Knicks just couldn't get going towards the end. It was just, Detroit was just one step ahead. So, um, I believe I picked the Knicks. I believe you all picked the Knicks. Matter of fact,
No,
to
no,
win
no,
this
no.
series.
I
Oh,
picked the
oh,
Pistons. I had
okay. So,
Pistons in six. Hold up
so
now.
he went on. He went. He was the one that jumped off the cliff and said, "I'm gonna go
Jumped off the
with the
cliff.
with
I
the
guess
Detroit Pistons, the
I
young
guess you
guys."
must have been snoozing during game two, then I guess.
I mean, no, I mean, I said this was going seven. I think this is a back and forth. This is going to be a good series because yeah,
Gonna be
Cade
a great
Cunningham is
series.
showing that, like Zeno says, Cade Cunningham is showing that he belongs in the with the superstars. I was going to say that too, King Speech. Yes, he's getting a lot of superstar calls. I would say, especially in game two, he was. I'm not gonna say he was flopping, but he was, he's a physical player, so he was drawing contact, and that contact was leading to free throws. So,
Yeah.
yeah. So Cade Cunningham, this is his coming out party, as far as I see, for the Detroit Pistons. But uh, Big Notch. Well, now let me start with Rondog, because since he's the
Yes,
one that
sir.
picked the Detroit Pistons to
Yes,
win
I
this, and you
did.
said six and
That's
six.
right. Yes, I
Okay,
did.
so
I
how do
said
you like the
Pistons in
series so
six.
far?
The
And are
series,
you confident?
yes, I'm still very confident. Um,
Mm.
I think if Pistons take game three, that's going to give them the momentum to keep driving. But game one, Knicks got them. Cat, and OG and Brunson, they all were doing the thing. Game two, though, Cat didn't do nothing. Brunson shooting way too many shots, and K did his thing. He had 33 and 10 assists. Yeah, yeah, and then a addition to the Pistons that nobody was considering that could happen. Dennis Schroeder coming with that clutch three at the end to help him get a 3-point lead, which gave him the momentum to go up by five or so to close out the series, or to close out game two. I mean, not the series. So, and then also Cat game two. The last time he shot the ball was 8 minutes left in the third quarter, and then like he never touched it again.
No
Brunson
show,
just,
no show.
Br-
But
I
Brunson,
mean,
yeah, Brunson capitalized.
it's not really Cat's fault. It's Brunson's fault. Brunson, after missing three or four shots, he should have tried to get another look to get somebody else going. But Brunson, he thinks, yeah, I am the team superstar. I have to shoot the most shots to try and help us win, which really just helped them lose that game.
Big Nige, are you confident that the Knicks will get it together to finish this one off?
Yeah, I still think the Knicks are going to take them. They just game two, like they just kind of like they just gave this one to the Pistons. Cade was phenomenal. Don't get it twisted. Schroeder hit a big shot there at the end, but New York just honestly they just sold. Big body Brunson, they can't do nothing with him. All right, he's just been that guy. He's going to continue to be that guy. And yes, to Ron Dog's point, he probably could get the others involved a little bit, but when Mikal Bridges is shooting a stinker, OG probably ain't touched the ball in a good quarter and a half. If I'm Brunson, who you want me to throw it to? You want me to throw it to Cat, who had like 10 points, who wasn't being aggressive, was getting manhandled by young men amongst boys um, over there by Duran and Tobias Harris was guarding him for crying out loud, and he just wasn't taking advantage. So I don't think Cat's going to continue to play that soft. But for game two, I can't really fault Brunson because it was him. It was either him or it was over. So how I see the series going from here, I think the Pistons are definitely getting enough help from the other guys. We saw game one, Hardaway, Beasley, they did pretty good. Tobias Harris dropped 25. And then game two, you got 15 from him. You got a 20 piece from Schroeder. You're getting enough from the other guys, but now you're going home. And now these role players, these Malik Beasleys, these Tim Hardaway Juniors, they in theory should play better. So I'm expecting the Pistons to make this a series. It's probably going to be 2-2 afterwards. And this is why I think the more experienced ball club will start to show. And this is why I'm going to have the Knicks slightly edging out the Pistons. I think if the Pistons just had like one more reliable piece that you could bank, surefire 15, 20 a game, I think that would be enough to take them out, the Knicks. But I think the Knicks, if they clean up a few things, they could really, take this series under control. So I have the Knicks in 6, and I think the other guys like the Mikal Bridges, the OGs, Cat will play better, and that'll be the difference when this series goes the distance.
Well,
I have to agree. I'm going to stick with my Knicks in 7. I just think they do have they're veterans. Cat was in the conference finals last year. Brunson took them as far as he could until he just ran out of gas last season. But I just think they know what to do. They know playoff basketball. They got a solid coach. Detroit is they're able to match some of their energy. They're able to match physicality with physicality, and Cat doesn't always do well with that kind of thing. So I think they can frustrate Cat. And Brunson, he's going to keep Brunsoning. Will that lead to wins? We'll see. But I think that ultimately the Knicks will pull it together. I don't know. I mean, I could see Detroit. Well, I'm not going to say that. I won't say they go up 3-1. I just don't see that. But I could see them having some tough games at home against these Knicks teams, and it's going to come down to execution. And like Zeno said, Brunson's got to pass it to Cat. Even if Cat's having a bad night, you got to pass the ball, because if Detroit only has to worry about one guy, even though that guy's really good, I mean, that's not, you're not Kobe, you're not Jordan, you're not LeBron, you're not these guys. So you can't take that type of pressure on by yourself, especially when you're somewhat of an undersized guard. So, I think that the Knicks will get it together. I think they're good enough. OG was not quite the greatest last night or the night before, whichever night they played. But I think he's going to have to be more efficient. Mikal Bridges is, gone missing a little bit. They need him to hit shots. So I feel strong with my Knicks assessment. When I see these guys going crazy in the chat, that's what I'm eyeing. Zeno and King Steve are going at it with this Detroit Pistons Knicks series. But I mean, that's some passionate fans. We like that. But yeah, I still think the Knicks are going to win it. But I think this is a coming out party for Cade Cunningham. He looks very comfortable in the role of being the man for the team. I think he's going to put the team on his back throughout this series. I just don't think he has that kind of pedigree yet to do that. But he will. I think if Detroit keeps on doing what they're doing, they're going to be a very dangerous team going forward in the West. And I mean, not in the West, but in the East. And I think that teams will pay attention more to that Detroit team going forward. So unfortunately, I have to drop off. You want to put the link out there for the guys, or
yeah, we can drop the link.
Or y'all want to continue? Okay.